Previously on MCC. Hello, once again. Welcome back to our Millennial Christian Conversation. Today we are talking about predestination. Since you said that, it actually brought a point I think that was made this Sunday in our Family Life Group class about people who will be saved and how that affects, or how some may think that affects our mission to share the gospel. But yeah, that's why I can see, and like I said the same thing Sunday that they were saying.
Foreknowledge, it means what it sounds like, to know before. Because it's God, He knows everything. But His knowing has nothing to do with this predestination or predestiny. Predestination, I said this also. Predestination is a big word for what we call God's plan of salvation. When you boil it down, that's all predestination is. That God designed a way for people to be saved or to spend eternity with Him. That's what predestination means. Period. And so that's why it does not interfere with will or choice or any of those things, because that's still available. The design is for the whole world. You reference John 3:16, but the beginning of it is, for God so loved the world. Right? So predestination is for everybody. It's for the whole world. The problem is some will not choose. Or the reality is that some will not choose to follow the plan. Now the fact that God already knows that just means He's God. And so the confusion about it, I'm not sure why it's so confusing. I guess the pre part is what confuses people, but I'm not sure.
Probably because it's not taught. Actually, I've only heard predestination taught maybe one time, and so but that's another issue as well. It's not taught.
But I don't know if it wasn't taught or if you wasn't listening. Because I don't know, or maybe not been there. I can't imagine getting to, because we study Romans 8 and 8. I'd say, every 4 years or so, we come across a Bible study that deals with that 8th chapter of Romans, that latter part of that 8th chapter, and foreknowing as well as predestination both are included in those scriptures. So and maybe not, maybe whatever the case was, may not. But I know people who have who've gone to school. Excuse me. Ministers, pastors who study the subject and have lessons on the subject in seminary and so forth, and a lot of it comes back with a lot of clutter around what predestination is. Instead of simplifying it, typically it seems as if they make it more complicated, and it's not. Or at least in my opinion, it's not. Now, and I think the idea that God already knows complicates things for some people. And when we hear that God knows, then we start confining and conforming God more to our way of thinking. Now, if we know who's going to choose, then we may start really not considering the people who are not going to choose our way and all that kind of stuff. But that's not God. And so when it crosses our minds, or when we get to understand that God knows everything already, then we start, I believe one of the issues is that we start giving God too many human characteristics, and start believing God may think like humans think. That because we know now, we may not try so hard for the people we know that's not going to choose, or we may skip over them kind of stuff. And that's just not the case. That's why we've been commanded to tell all the world. Even though God knows, we don't. And God makes it available to everyone. And so because of our commission, then we can recognize that then God makes it available to everyone. He doesn't slight anyone because he already knows their choice. Now, like the lady that was referred to, she may decide, well, I'm not going, or people who think like her, I'm not going to tell them about Jesus because he already knows. That's not how God thinks. That's not what God does. That's what we do. And so that may be part of the confusion with predestination and foreknowledge, the fact that God knows. So, some people may hesitate to teach it. Because I don't think there's any conflict in it. He's God. Of course he knows everything. But we don't know. And so we ought to do our best to follow through with the plan of God, which is for those of us who have accepted Jesus as our Savior and Lord, to tell others to try to help them do the same thing.
All right, well, we thank you for coming back once again for our MCC. Please leave a like, leave a comment, share it with your friends and family, and we will be back next week with another topic. Thank you.